roadmap. I'm going to highlight some of the major arguments around and try and paint a picture of why we believe you should not affirm the resolution. Is everyone ready? So ultimately, when we look at the plan presented by the government team, we need to ask ourselves a simple question. Are we getting enough for our money? The answer is no. And we can see this by first looking to the disadvantage dealing with the state budget. Now consider what they're putting at risk. There is a trade-off in education spending between high schools and colleges, especially in light of how politically contentious debates on the budget are right now. Just look to the great deal of work that President Cordova has had to deal, spending days, if not weeks, down in Indianapolis arguing for continuation of current funding, let alone expansion. If we are going to force a trade-off in education funding in Indiana, we are ultimately going to undermine the fundamental base of our development in the future. They question what the impact to this argument is. This, I tell you, is the impact. If we do not have the high-tech workers of the future, there is no way our economy here in Indiana can sustain itself. But secondly, we can look to the question of academic freedom. And it seems that neither of my opponents have ever spent much time around politicians. Because ultimately, it's always about horse trading. It's always about their interests. When it comes right down to it, when researchers and startup businesses are looking for grants, it's a political game. And if they can't play the political game, they can't get the money. This directly impedes the academic freedom of our professors and of these startup businesses. If they do not have the freedom to research that which they will, they may never actually develop the technologies that we so desperately need. As my partner said in his speech, you're going to prefer private sector funding because it allows more freedom for individuals to pursue the research they will and pursue the avenues that will actually grow our economy in the future. This, too, fundamentally highlights the fact that they are not getting the benefits they are claiming from their plan. And finally, let us look to that plan itself. Now, in the first place, remember, writing a government grant is going to be a lot more complicated than writing, say, a private sector grant. You have to go through all sorts of disclosure. You have to go through the political process. This is a level of involvement that professors don't have as much in the status quo, and it will be increased as a result of their plan. This means professors are spending less time on research and development, more time doing paperwork. There's not going to be the increase in research that they claim. And on the issue of economics, 95% of small businesses fail. Yes, some do succeed spectacularly, but are we going to really gamble the fate of our economy on this? Look what happened when we gambled on the housing market. Where did that leave us today? If we continue gambling with federal money and with state money, it will only harm us in the long run. And it is so for these three key reasons that I urge you to oppose today's resolution.